Hello. I don't like this lighting. And it's dark. Trying to adjust this thing. Okay, I guess I'll just deal with that. Hello, sorry I started a little later. I'm gonna read from my devotional. So today, February 26th, the topic is fulfill his purpose. The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Do not forsake the works of your hand. And this is coming from Psalms 138 and 8. Did you know God is more intent on fulfilling his purpose for your life than you are? He is fully aware you are the weaker vessel in your relationship with him. While we might have zeal and passion, we naturally grow weak, lazy, or idle. This can be discouraging to us, but God is not easily discouraged. After all, he is our maker and knows exactly how frail we are. God can fulfill his purpose for you because his love will endure over you forever. It is not a weak love. You are the precious work of his hands. The question is, how can you trust and partner with God in fulfilling his purpose for your life? To answer that question for myself, I would have to say letting him actually take the wheel and not trying to do everything on your own, because we always fail if we do that. I also wanted to just kind of talk about today some weaknesses that I have to work on myself. Lately, since we've been in this pandemic, I actually have been eating a lot more and gaining a lot of weight, and it's messed with my self-confidence. And it ties into giving glory to God, because at the end of the day, I've always been self-conscious about myself. I've always been very thin and small. I've actually gained about 20, I would say 20, 25 pounds. And it's kind of messing with my confidence a little bit. Um, at the end of the day, God's going to get the glory out of everything, because no matter how we feel, what our plan is, I had planned to go to the gym, and I was going consistently like 2 or 3 times a week. But then the gyms closed. So I started getting lazy, and laziness never helps anything. I stopped going on my morning walks that I was going on. So I started gaining all this weight, and I've never had all this weight on me before. I just kind of wanted to encourage people today. It doesn't matter what we look like, it doesn't matter how we feel. What matters is the truth of what God thinks about us and how he feels about us. Um, like I said, I had started getting lazy, and sometimes I find myself getting lazy as well, in my walk as well with God. And we can't do that. We have to make sure that we stay consistent, and we can't be in and out. When I came back to Christ, I was fully in it. I was um persistent. And then, I met someone, and, I didn't turn away from God or anything, but I just kind of started focusing on this person, thinking that I, can control myself. And instead, I ended up kind of slipping off, and I was straddling the fence. I was more so into him. I was serving God, but I was also into him, and I fell, and we ended up becoming sexually active. Fornication is never something that you have to do, but I'm just being real. That's what happened. And we get soul ties. Those strongholds are very strong. So that's what happened to me. I had to actually, well, I'm still dealing with, the soul ties and the connection, the strongholds now that I was dealing with before. We have to come to our leaders or come to our spiritual, parents or spiritual people that are in our lives, the ones that are going to lead you in the right direction, the ones that are going to actually point to the Bible to give you answers and not point to themselves. We have to make it known about the strongholds that we have on us. We have to be honest, because if we start lying, then we're lying to ourselves, and we're not going to be able to spiritually grow. We're not going to be able to do anything that God needs us to do. I had to kind of, open myself up and be honest, and express to my spiritual mother that, I was dealing with this. And, she was very welcoming to me. She didn't make me feel bad. She didn't make me feel like I was just the only human in the world who dealt with this. It's good to have somebody like that, but she also didn't make me feel like it was just okay to keep doing it or to stay in that route. She asked me to make a choice. Do I want to serve God, or do I want a man in that way, in a sexually way? Because when God sends you somebody, he's not going to want to just lay up with you, lay in the bed with you, just have sexual pleasures. That man of God is going to want to serve God with you. He's going to want you to choose your walk with God rather than what pleases him. And for this individual, it was said that they accepted and respected my walk, but at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words, and you can say anything that you want to say, but when it comes down to it, you can't see the fruit that needs to be in them, and the answers that they're telling you, they're actually not lining up. Squirt, go. My cat is bothering me right now. Another thing that I also wanted to kind of touch bases on is like, if you're on here and you're watching me, if you have questions or anything, you can email me, you can message me on here and ask questions. Because sometimes I don't know really what to talk about, but to express things about myself and tell you guys a little bit about myself and what I'm dealing with. And, a lot that I'm dealing with is living single in Christ and what God's brought me out of. I was in mentally abusive relationships before. I put myself out there when I was younger, and God brought me out of the streets. I tried drugs, and God delivered me from them. I smoked weed, I drank alcohol, and I smoked cigarettes. God delivered me from a lot of things. So I just want to encourage people and let them know that God is able to do it for them, especially if he did it for me. I sorry, I only have a certain amount of time. I got on here a little late because I've been running around handling a few things before I have to go to work. Sorry, today my brain is a little still, y'all. Excuse me. But one thing that I've been learning is to be patient with yourself. I'm one who is very hard on myself. Any little thing that I do, I beat myself up for it. And that's not really a healthy mindset or a healthy way to handle yourself. Another thing that I've also been learning is being consistent in prayer and reading. You can't read one day and then miss a whole bunch of days and then go back into it. Well, you can, but you should be consistent at it, because I was doing that for a while. I would read, and then think that I was okay. And then, I would skip like a day or two. Then I would start reading again. But it's like in between those days that I wasn't reading and I wasn't fully talking to God is when I found chaos and when I found my spirit kind of being uneasy. Um, I like to write, so I have a journal that I start writing in. I used to actually journal to God and write him letters when I was younger, and I still have all the books. I also used to write like little poetry. But anyways, it's a good meditative way to express yourself to God. And if you don't know what to say, just sit there with your notebook open and ask God to speak to your heart and to lead you. And he will every time. Every time he's done it for me, because half the time I don't even know what to talk about, what to say, but to express my feelings and what I'm going through and dealing with. And that's another thing that I have to work on, is working in my feelings, because that's working in your flesh. And you never want to just work in your flesh. You want to make sure that your spirit is stronger than your fleshly desires. And I'm a sensitive person, so God is working on me with that. But I'm a sensitive person, and I tend to get offended for certain things, and that's something that I need God to work on me and help me with, because you can't be in the spirit and be getting offended like that. So I have to understand not to take things personal. Um, Also, not to assume, because I used to do that a lot. I used to assume that somebody felt a certain way or was thinking something, like I just could read minds or something. But that used to always get me in trouble because I would react the wrong way. And a lot of the times when we react the wrong way, it never works out for us in a good way. Um, Still to this day, I have to work on how I react to certain situations and how I react to my emotions. Your emotions could get you in a lot of trouble. Your anger could get you in a lot of trouble. We are able to get angry, but we're not supposed to sin while we're angry. But when we get angry, we open up a door for the devil to come in and really mess with us, and throw a whole bunch of other emotions in with us. Like jealousy is one of them. We're not supposed to be jealous of our brothers and our sisters. We're supposed to be happy for them. If you find yourself being bitter and being mad about somebody who is close to you actually succeeding or doing something good with themselves, you have to check your heart. And I'm saying that for myself as well. You have to check your heart, and we have to be honest with God and with ourselves, and know that we're not perfect, but at the same time, we need to be striving to be more like Jesus. We can't just sit back and be okay with how we are. And we also can't have the attitude like, you can't help it, like, because we can all help it. All we need to do is we need to pray. And if it's on our spirit to fast, we need to fast. And when we're fasting, there is not just a food fast, fast from social media. I've done it before and it helped me a lot. Fast from talking on the phone to certain people, fast from being around certain people, fast from watching certain things. I actually did that, and I stopped listening to rap music. I only strictly listen to gospel music. I listen to Christian rap as well. There's certain things that I won't listen to, but I listen to Christian rap. But I love gospel music, so that's the only music that I listen to now. Um, I thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I was just on here for a little bit because I have to go and get ready for work. But I thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a very beautiful weekend. I'll be back next Friday, and maybe you guys could write comments on here about what you guys would like to talk about, what you guys would like to know. Um, yeah, I just want to open myself up more every time I get on here. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a great day.